people of the internet, and welcome to episode 2 of Car Voyages. And yes, we are still here at this barn. It's been a few days. It's still sunny. It's been great. My name is Mustafa. This is Colin. And Colin has one beautiful Blubaru, as some may call it, WRX STI. Colin, you want to tell us about your car?
Yeah, so it's a 2011 Subaru STI Limited.
Limited. Means it has features.
It does have features. Ones that you kind of wish you could delete, though, because of weight. But so the Limited has heated leather seats and sunroof, upgraded stereo package, none of which really caught my eye. Not the reason I purchased the vehicle. So I actually was building a 2011 blue WRX before this, paid it off, and then approached my wife about, hey, I'm just trying to catch an STI at this point. Why don't, am I able to sell it and
Buy the STI.
buy an STI?
Makes sense.
So she said, yeah. I started the search. She had two requirements. One was that it was low mileage. The other, the Subaru community is going to kill me, but she didn't want a hatch. Which, I like the hatch, but I'd have to be a fool to argue with my wife if she said, hey, go ahead and go buy your dream car, right? So I found this in the Bay Area. It had 30,000 miles on it, owned by a 40-year-old man who worked for Google. So I knew that it was taken care of, from jump. As soon as I purchased it, I started modifying it.
So the clear second owner of a Subaru.
So we started with, the typical intake downpipe. I also, at that point, did...
What is that, like stage 1 mods, kind of?
People refer to it as stage 2.
What's stage 1 stock?
Stage 1, I believe, would just be the intake and the access port.
Nice.
But I did downpipe, fuel pump, and a couple of the stumble mods. Car made great power. Drove it for, 4 or 5 years like that.
Yeah.
And just over the time started accumulating parts to go faster. And, so when Cobb dropped the hammer, I had already accumulated everything to convert to, upgraded turbo, ethanol. So all that stuff was sitting in my garage when I got the news, and I scrambled money together. I sold, so I actually had the 06, 07 gold BBSs on this for a while.
Yep.
I sold that to partially pay for the tune.
And,
yeah, so I got in the Wednesday before, the hammer
deadline.
dropped. Yeah. And the car, we put over 100 more horsepower into it, and I've loved it ever since.
What are you making in horsepower right now?
So
on both fuels.
Yeah,
so some people out there, there's two kinds of fuels.
So I
both.
am running the Cobb Flex Fuel kit, tuned by Snail Performance in Auburn, California. All the parts were put on by M45 in Auburn, California. So on 91, I put down 380.
Nice.
And then when I'm on ethanol,
Wait for it. We gotta brace for a second. I don't think they're ready for it.
It jumped to 415, 421. So 415 horsepower, 420 foot-pounds of torque.
On a 4-door family car, people.
I totally did pack my 1-year-old, my wife, and all the things that go with a 1-year-old to get up here today. So, but suspension-wise, I've done just the front and rear sway bars and end links. It does have the 2015 to 2017 steering rack with polyurethane bushings.
Nice.
So the steering rack,
stiffer.
the steering rack is upgraded. Then I did the short throw shifter, and then for power, it's basically a rolling Cobb catalog.
There we go. You're welcome, Cobb.
Intake to downpipe is all Cobb, including the turbo inlet, fuel rails, 1300 cc injectors, the Cobb 20G. I'm also running the Crawford AOS.
Oh man.
So yeah, it's
that's
been
a list. That's a hefty list.
some of the things, me and a couple buddies have been able to put on, but once I started with the fuel upgrades,
You gotta
turbo
go
and stuff
somewhere
like that,
else,
I just
yeah.
figured better leave it in the hands of a professional. So M45 buttoned it up, and man, Travis at Snail tuned it, and it's
There we
been
go.
100% amazing ever since.
Oh,
So
man. It's
yeah,
an amazing
it's been a
car.
blast.
Even sounds amazing. We'll cut to some clips of the noise later in a little bit.
I do the exhaust is kind of rare, so I am running dual Flowmaster Super 10s, and I don't know of another Subaru that has Flowmasters on it.
So not NVIDIA. Not what else is more popular? MXP.
Not the Cobb, the Tomei, the
Cobbs.
single leg Tomei. It sounds great. I just feel like when it comes to Subaru, those are the three
go-tos.
major go-tos that people go to, and there's nothing wrong with those companies. They put out great exhaust. I just wanted a different tone. I wanted to sound a little different, so
And it sounds amazing.
I went with the
It really
Flowmaster
does.
Super 10s,
There we
which
go.
they make some noise.
So I gotta ask, why a Subaru in general? Like why go with an STI? Like why not
So there's actually
something else like an Evo? Like why?
there's actually a lot of background to that. So in 04, when the STI was introduced to the
US
States,
market. Yeah.
I was working at a sister dealership, and I was just at the time coming out of high school, I wanted to be a technician. I was a lube oil tech, and I walked over and I watched I looked at the first STI in Sonoma County, and it was blue on gold BBSs, and I just told myself that day, I go, one day I'm going to own one of these.
Very iconic color.
But the funny thing is before that I was completely displacement,
Yep.
domestic American muscle. I had owned nothing but Chevys up until the point I bought the WRX. So
It's quite a jump.
it is,
It's quite a
and
jump.
I honestly, I've driven a bunch of cars, and I don't think I've had more fun in a car than I have in this one.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, the all-wheel drive, the ethanol helps, but even before that, blasting out to the coast, I couldn't picture a better platform
Nice.
for myself.
Yeah, man, it's a great car.
Thank you.
And I gotta ask then, what's your favorite memory with your car?
I think my favorite memory was probably my first cruise out to the coast with my daughter.
Nice.
Being able to put a car seat in this car and boost around with her while she goes fast is it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I would say that would probably be my favorite memory is the first time I was able to put my daughter in it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean,
That's a
there's
really good memory.
there's a bunch of them now that I'm thinking about it, but you and I actually met.
Yeah. There is a backstory to this guy.
We met going to BAM, which was the Bay Area Subaru meet.
Yeah.
I don't think they do that anymore, but
It's been a few years.
yeah, it was. Gosh, what was that? 2017,
2017, and
Yeah.
we did a rally.
Yeah.
Of I lost count of how many Subarus were out there.
But
Yeah, it was a good time.
yeah,
it
man,
was also
so-
a great drive.
yeah, that was a lot of fun going down to Subi Fest and meeting a bunch of people down in
Out in
Subi Fest.
SoCal.
Yeah, in 2019 was a blast. Got to meet Bucky, which
Yeah.
if you're a Subaru fan, is always kind of a cool thing to do. And I mean, I also skated too, so him as a professional skateboarder was a double whammy for me. I was like, yeah.
Oh man. Well, going after that, then what's next for it?
So I kind of hit a wall after I added the power.
And that's all right. You can stop at any point.
Yeah, I mean, no, I do have plans for it. The thing is, it'll never be done.
That's true.
So I've kind of thrown around the idea of just doing little little stuff.
Yeah.
As far as, replacing all the bushings, going all polyurethane throughout the entire car. Eventually, it will be on Öhlins, and
There we go. Great suspension choice.
Yeah, I've got my heart set on it. There's not much that can sway it at this point.
Hey, there we go.
So there are plans for it, but as far as power goes, I think I'm happy at where it's at.
Nice.
I don't see a reason to go over what I'm at.
It's a good amount of horsepower.
Yeah, I'm having fun with it, and it's been great. Yeah.
Nice. Well, next thing is, you're gonna keep it the same color.
So that's really funny.
That's the question.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reason I bought it is because it is World Rally Blue.
That's true.
I love the World Rally Blue.
Beautiful color.
So there has been discussion of possibly wrapping it, but like I said, at this point right now, I'm just kind of I'm not saving for car parts anymore.
Nice.
I'm saving to go on vacation.
It's a really good priority, so it's not bad.
Well, I told my wife too. So she put up with everything that I've done with this, and I told her that after the tune, that's what money's going to go to. I'm not going to put it towards cars. We're going to Hawaii.
That should be how most builds are. Happy wife,
Yeah.
happy build. So it's,
And then you buy the
then you
Öhlins.
buy the. And that's how it should always work. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna cut some of these beauty shots. Colin, thank you so much for your
Absolutely,
time.
man.
And yeah,
Thanks, guys.
have a good time.